Welcome, everyone. Buck and Brock Show, episode 4 of the podcast, YouTube. That's
The little
Buck.
shindig. I'm Buck still. Name hasn't changed. Brock, your name, I
Name
believe,
has
hasn't
not
changed
changed.
one bit. So,
Gonna dive in.
let's go. Michael Phelps, this thing. Swing the arms. So
NBA talk.
Yeah, we're going to go with the NBA talk with the first. It's been 5 games, so I'm going to say the first week of the season. Probably not a week, probably not the right term, but I'm going to go with that. We're going to talk about what we've seen so far with teams and how they're progressing, new roles. A lot of stuff happened in the offseason that made this season very exciting.
Right.
And then we'll go into our little prediction talk and who's going to go MVP, NBA Finals.
It won't be a full LeBron talk. We did that last week.
We did talk about LeBron, which
Gave him a lot of
I
love.
could talk about him for hours if I need to.
Absolutely.
When he's the greatest player of all time. And all right, we're not talking about that. So anyways, one team, I wanted to start off with something that stuck out to me during this offseason. All I've seen is how the Celtics and 76ers are going to run the East for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be conference finals against each other. Winner's going to go on and lose to the Warriors. That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but people, I think, forgot that the Raptors had 59 wins in the regular season last year.
They're a good team.
And traded and got arguably a top 3 player when he's healthy.
When he's healthy,
When
Kawhi
Kawhi
Leonard's very good.
And I was just I was thinking about it. When the Raptors would play games in the postseason, not one time did I think when they were playing a team that they had the best player on the court. I think DeRozan's arguably a good player. I mean,
He's
everybody
a
can say the
solid
all-star.
player in
Yeah,
the
but
league.
when I'm wanting to win a game and I want the best player on the court, I'm not thinking DeRozan that pops up. Now that you have Kawhi, who's been there with the Spurs, won a Finals MVP that people seem to somehow forget he was the MVP in that Finals.
Right. And I think Kyle Lowry is a big part of that team.
Yeah,
too. He's
whole-
like their heartbeat of that team.
Their team defensively is absolutely insane. So right now,
They're 5-0.
they're starting off. Yeah, they're 5-0. They're the best team record-wise in the NBA. I mean, of
Right.
course, the Warriors are Warriors, but
Right.
based off that, you have Kyle Lowry that'll be starting, who can still hold his own on defense. He's a solid offensive player.
Sure.
You're putting Danny Green at the 2, who's starting right now, and who's a 3-and-D guy, has been. He's one of the best shot blockers at shooting guard position we've seen since probably Dwayne Wade when he was in his prime.
Right.
Kawhi's probably the greatest perimeter defender we've ever seen since maybe prime Scottie Pippen.
In our generation, yeah.
Yeah. I can't say his last name. Pascal Siakam, some weird name like that. You got a name
Is he
on
the
that,
big
Sweeney?
man?
Yeah, Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, there's a reason why Sweeney's there.
Yep.
I was reading he's going back and forth on the court. You know he's the fastest player on their team?
Is he a big guy? Or
He's like 7 feet tall or something like that.
He is.
He is.
Wow.
So he's playing the 5 and with Ibaka
just
playing the
long
4.
strides.
Yeah.
man.
Ibaka, who still can hold his own on defense, and he's not what he used to be, Ibaka, but he's been a good interior defender.
He's a solid
That team can guard
yeah.
a lot of people, and then if you take out Sick'em or whatever his name is,
Yeah,
you
Sick'em
take
boy.
Sick'em boy. You take him out and you put OG in, who last year as a rookie just showed glimpses of all-star level
He'll be a good
type
pro.
of defender.
He'll be
That
a good
team, small ball can guard a lot. I think honestly, right now they're the best team in the East, and I
Definitely
think
the best
going
team.
in, I think they're going to the finals.
I
We're not going
I
to
don't
prediction
think so.
stuff yet. That's something we'll talk about later.
Right.
But I just think.
I think Boston has so much talent, honestly.
Yeah, but they're still not playing. Kyrie's been off lately.
He
to
looks
start
like
the
Uncle
year.
Drew out there.
Yeah,
Let his hair grow out a little bit.
he does. He look like Uncle Drew, but without the skills. Then you have Gordon Hayward, who's still coming up to injury. It's understandable why his legs are gonna be under a little tension and stuff. But the 76ers aren't holding their own. Ben Simmons got hurt. He's handling his own little shit.
Basically, the top 3 is probably going to be Boston, Toronto, and Philly.
Yeah,
right?
and I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll go into our prediction talk later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Other things let's go to the West a little bit.
Trae Young had a great game.
He did 35 and 11.
35 and 11. He's going to be a really good shooter.
Since 2000, him, Steph Curry, and LeBron James are only
35 and 11.
35 and
rookies.
10. That's a good list to be on.
I just love. I don't know if Steph Curry created this. Obviously Curry's probably the best shooter of all time, or will go down as the best shooter of all time. But I mean, it makes guys like Trae Young interesting because you want to watch him. You want to see him shoot.
It makes Trae Young an intriguing NBA prospect. When he was coming out of high school, he was from Norman High School and went to Oklahoma and stuff. He wasn't a one and done. He was, I'm going to be there 4 years. Hopefully my senior year I turn in Buddy Hield, who was at Oklahoma as well,
Yeah.
and creep up draft boards because I can shoot the ball.
And then
that
he goes
didn't
out.
happen. That he went out there and produced like 28 and 8 in college that freshman year and was like, I'm gonna. And then the Hawks traded
They had
down.
the Luka Doncic pick, right? Or
They had it at 3.
Yeah, at
but
3.
the Mavs traded up for him because
Yeah.
they're okay with taking Trae Young.
Yeah. I think he's going to be good. I mean, yeah, he's looks smaller than everybody, but that's what they said about Steph. When Steph came out of
true.
Davidson, it was like, oh, he can't guard anybody. You know, he's small. He's going to get pushed around. But all Steph has done is win 2 MVPs and go to the finals 3 times, or win 3 championships.
Which he has 0 NBA Finals MVPs because of everybody else. But anyways,
Yeah, but whatever.
I think Trae Young, talking about that, of the rookies, I think he could have the highest ceiling, but have the most struggle getting there if he does.
I agree.
I think his game translating how small he is will take time as like Steph. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
like we're trying to do a comparison right now, but that's still like Steph is
That's far
is
off.
far off. And yes, they have similarities, but at the same time, Steph Curry's the greatest shooter of all time and made who he was because of how he is.
Yeah.
If that makes somewhat sense. But with Trae Young, like it's gonna like if he wants to get to that level, he has so much hard. Like DeAndre Ayton, you can't teach size and
No.
athleticism like he has. Yeah, he looks like a
I think
dodo
Trae
brain on
Young- yeah.
defense, but at the same time, he give him the ball, he's scoring 20 a game.
Trae Young didn't have the physical attributes to go that high in the draft, but he had a skill that put him that high in the draft.
Well, he's
no
the
one
best
shot the
shooter.
ball
No.
like him in college.
No, exactly. And so he's gonna be an interesting. Oh, Sweeney, for you, Trae Young. What do you think? Better chance of being a bust or an all-star? What do you think? Your personal opinion on that?
I think it's 50-50.
It's close.
I think it's pretty close to 50-50 because
If
You
I
look
was
at
a betting man, I'd put money on him never being an all-star before he's an all-star.
you look at him as a player. You see, he pretty much is a pure shooter. He's got some handles. I'll give him
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
And it's not like
He
he's
can create a
quick.
shot.
He can
quick.
pass.
He's a quick
little
guy,
bit,
He
too.
yeah.
passes well, but it's like
Absolutely, but I feel like his shortcomings will be defense.
yeah, which he won't be able to. I feel like us three in here, maybe besides Brock, because he's Bambi on ice, could probably score.
You haven't even seen me play basketball.
I've seen you do
I am
everything
wet
else
from
in
the
life.
3-point line.
What's that got to do with? Wow. Yeah.
I can play defense
No,
too.
you can't.
You won't score 30 on me, but you'll score close to 30.
Score more. I wouldn't score 30 because I score more on you, Brock.
You're probably right. Whatever.
Whatever, but
Wing defender.
I think if I'm a betting man, I'm putting. What do you think?
I'm pulling for him. He's
So
gonna
you're
be
saying
an
all-star?
Not this year, but he's gonna
Obviously
be an all-star.
not this year. I'm not talking this year. I'm talking about
I think he's gonna be an all-star.
if you had to go over under 3 All-Star appearances for Trae Young.
Over.
I'm going under every time. Not every time, but I think he might have one year where he just shoots lights out, goes like Isaiah Thomas mode where he has like 28 a game. It's like maybe like you know how I had that year with the Celtics, maybe something like that. I just don't think he's
It's like, what do the Hawks have? They have.
nobody. Draft picks and
I mean, they have old
Prince
Vince
is-
Carter.
if Vince Carter started.
So did the Kings last year. See how that worked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the Kings for a reason.
So
That's interesting with that. Yeah, but like Nuggets playing out of their mind. Jokic
I like
is.
Denver.
I've been saying he's
I like
my
Denver.
biased personal opinion. He's the best center in basketball. I'm taking him over.
Taking him over and beat.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm expecting 80 games out of Jokic, and he's making his teammates better around him. And Embiid is definitely probably way physically gifted, way more. But the dude has more turnovers and assists a game.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting 55 games out of him compared to 80 with Jokic.
Yeah. That's
So-
true.
I'm going with a Joker on. That's my. I mean, that easily. Like I can understand why people say anything else.
I mean, the West is obviously.
West is just stacked. Anthony Davis. We'll bring him up in a little bit probably when we talk about prediction stuff. And I mean, yeah, let's go into that little prediction. Yeah, let's go with our predictions this year with it. Let's go with Let's go first.
A surprise team in the West and East.
Yeah, let's go with that. Who's the surprise team in the West?
Surprise team in the West. I honestly think you. No. I was gonna go Denver, but I think it's gonna be Utah.
As in what?
They're not a surprise team, but it's never a team that you think is gonna like possibly go deep in the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna go deep in the playoffs because if they do, they're gonna have to run through Golden State at some point. But I think they actually. I think they win more than like 55 games.
See, like with mine, I was talking to Sweeney about this at our apartment. My prediction is, I mean, it's kind of bold, but kind of not at the same time. I think they're the 2 seed in the West this year.
Utah?
Yep, I think they're better than the
Wow.
Rockets. I think they're better than everybody else. I think the only way is the Warriors. They might even maybe be the 1 seed if the Warriors just decide they don't care about the regular season. Because, I mean, the Warriors are going to win it all.
I don't think Utah gets a 2 seed.
I think they easily can.
I think they get a 4 or 5.
But that's not. I'm going. What's crazy? My bold prediction is this. I'm going Golden State, Utah, Denver, and Houston. I'm going.
What if Houston gets Butler?
Yeah, they did offer that, but it doesn't. I don't know. I love Denver a lot. I am on their hype train. I think that they're in the East. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals. They might even be in the Western Conference Finals this year, and I wouldn't be shocked with that. I think they're going to be the 3 seed. So my surprise team. I mean, is that really considered a surprise though? If it's
I mean, if
team
it's
that's
not
supposed to
Golden
make the
State or
playoffs?
Houston, I expect it as a surprise.
my surprise team, I'm gonna go with this in a different way than probably you're thinking of it. I'm going the Spurs, and their streak ends in playoffs. I don't think they make it this year. I think there's arguably 8 teams better. I'm taking Golden State over
Hear
them.
that?
Jazz, okay, little club next door.
Yeah, like it. Wow,
Interesting
that is
little
shaking
beat. That
the
is
room.
shaking the room.
That's
I
some
like
loud
it.
bass right there.
That is
That is loud, huh?
play some Obama in this thing, in this joint. But let's go with. I'm going with Golden State's gonna be better than them. Denver, Utah, Rockets. I think LA will eventually have a better record than them.
Mm-hmm.
I think possibly Minnesota could have a better record than them. I think the Thunder will turn it around. There's 7 teams right there. The Pelicans could, and the Trailblazers, like between.
Pelicans could get an 8
I think
seed,
the Spurs, Trailblazers, and the Lakers will be arguing for the 8 spot.
Okay.
And if they didn't make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. All right, so with that, Wes, surprise team in the East.
Yeah, surprise team in the East. Not a lot to choose from. I mean,
It's arguably 4 teams that are
it's four
teams that,
Philadelphia, Toronto, Milwaukee.
and Sixers
and
are the
the
only
Sixers.
ones that are.
I mean,
I
the
think-
Pistons haven't lost, but I mean, right?
Yeah, they haven't. I mean, Blake Griffin's playing. I don't even know.
Surprise team. I guess I'll just go with the Hawks.
What's so surprised about them?
I
That
don't
they
know. I
win
feel
10
like,
games?
I think they make the playoffs. I think the Hawks.
What?
I think the Hawks make the playoffs.
Hey, if there's a conference for that to happen, it's the East.
I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
but
Hawks, Trae Young, playoff bound.
I'm not even gonna dive into that because I don't even think that's.
What do you think?
Think about it. Can
Hornets.
you think of 8 Eastern Conference playoff teams off the top of your head?
I think that I can look at it right now. Raptors is better than them. The Bucks are better than them. The Pistons are. The Pacers are. The Celtics are. The Heat are. The 76ers are. The Wizards are. There's 8 right there.
I think they battle.
I think Hornets are better than them. I think even the Magic are better than them.
You think the Magic?
I think the Nets are better than them. There's 11 teams right there I think that are better than the Hawks.
I'm not saying I disagree with you because I don't think the Hawks are going to make
Based
the
off their
playoffs
roster.
either. But
I think they're fighting. They're 2-2 right now, and like probably the last time they'll be even all year.
I'm just saying that the Eastern Conference itself
Is
is
not good after
That is
anything
true,
could
like, if
happen at the
they
bottom
could be a
half
five-
of that conference.
If they somehow are a 500 team, they're making the playoffs because of the Eastern
Absolutely.
Conference.
yeah, of course.
I think my surprise team is. I'm going with the Raptors, even though they're supposed to be good, and that's going to lead to my prediction is that the Raptors face the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Raptors win and go to the finals.
I think the Celtics go to the finals.
I think. I think it's between those 2 teams. I think the Sixers are still too young, and the depth on both teams is just so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I still go Celtics there because I think they're the most talented team in the East. I really do.
If either one is. If the Celtics make the finals, I'm not saying, wow, I never expected that.
Yeah.
If the Raptors make, I'm not saying, wow, I expected that.
It's
I
gonna be a
think,
great
actually,
year.
I don't. Actually, I'm changing that. I'm going Raptors Bucks.
We have a change.
We have a change. I'm
He's
going
not going with
Raptors
Toronto.
Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Toronto's gonna make it, but I think Bucks takes that next step
I do not think Milwaukee
because
gets-
Giannis is the best player in the East.
What do you
beside-
think about that?
Better than
Sweeney?
Kawhi.
I do
now.
not think Milwaukee gets the Eastern Conference.
Prediction on
Finals.
that, Sweeney. What do you-
I agree. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is definitely
Top
the best
5
player
player.
in the East.
Giannis Akumadingo.
I think he's the best player in the East.
I think he's better than
You
Kawhi
stack him up against the Celtics' top players, Tatum, Irving, Hayward. Can you one-on-one say those players are better than Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No, and I don't think there's one person
No.
that can stop him from getting 30 and 10.
Absolutely not. I don't think there's.
And Giannis can guard any one of those guys. maybe
Yeah,
besides
no
Kyrie.
defense in the East is going to stop Giannis from
The
getting
only
his
person
30.
that could, I think that's how the Raptors win, is because Kawhi can limit Giannis in a way that nobody else can in the
I think
East.
so too.
But I think the Bucks, not steamroll, but I think the Bucks could be a 2 or 3 seed this year. I'm going Toronto, Boston, Milwaukee, and then the Sixers.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be Toronto, Milwaukee. And that goes to my, and we'll go to NBA Finals real quick. Who do you think's winning the East and West for you? Who's going to the Finals for you, Sweeney?
That's a tough one.
Well, the West, the Warriors,
Yep.
and the
Consensus.
East, I had the Raptors.
Yep. I'm
So-
going with the same thing. I'm going Raptors, Warriors, and 5.
I'm going Warriors and Celtics and Warriors and I'll go Warriors in 6.
Okay, so that's not even like we're like Celtics if they make it like we're.
Surprised.
I'm not surprised with that. Alrighty, let's go
Enough
into
NBA talk.
let's go into individual awards real quick.
Okay.
Let's go individual
Sorry.
awards real quick. This could be a little short
Let's go
shindig. Let's go
MVP.
MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and we'll go Rookie of the Year.
Okay. MVP, Swain, start us off.
Who are you going with?
Ooh, Giannis.
I'm going Giannis too. I think it's Giannis and Anthony Davis, and I don't think anybody else is gonna be considered for that.
Steph Curry. MVP. Again.
You watch him score one time, and
That's not true. I try to watch him every time they play. I really want to buy a league pass. I just don't have the money.
You're. I understand why you pick Steph because you're biased and you
I love Steph.
a dodo brain, but at the same time,
Hasn't he won 2 MVPs?
Yeah.
he has. And was Kevin Durant on his team?
No, but
Exactly.
look at how he's playing. He's
Exactly.
playing like an MVP right now.
Yeah, but if you take them off their team, they're going to the finals. If you take KD off their team, they're going to the finals.
They're going.
You're telling me
I think it's going to
I
be.
think they do, but
if there's 4 guys on that team, Clay, Draymond, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry, if you take one of those 4 off, they're going to the finals in the West.
I have looked at this. Their record without Steph Curry is noticeably worse than their record without Kevin Durant.
Uh-huh.
I think that Curry's such a big part of their scoring
he is.
that if you take him off, I don't know if they're not going to go to the finals, but it's going to significantly.
Yeah, they're still not going to be the same. Like, if they're going to final, if they don't have Steph, I think that they could lose to an Eastern Conference team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think they're not making it. I think they're in the finals.
Probably.
You see that? Look at any team on the East. You take off their best player, maybe arguably besides the Celtics, because they're so deep. Like, because they almost made it last year without Kyrie.
Yep.
Every other team, they're not making it to the finals.
No.
In the Western Conference, Conference, you taking Jokic off, they're not making it. You taking Anthony Davis, they're not making it. Take James Harden off the Rockets, they're not making it. They couldn't even win with Chris Paul without him.
No.
The Warriors are the only team in the NBA you take one of their 4 superstars off. I mean, they are the only team with 4 superstars. You take one of them off, they're not making it. You guys forget that Boogie Cousin comes too.
Yeah. They have 5
So I think
All-Stars.
they have 5 All-Stars.
Starting.
So that's what KD's going to take votes away from Steph. I don't think Steph finishes in top 5 MVP voting again.
I think he wins.
I don't think he will get considered for voting with
If he averages 30.
Giannis is going to average 30 with 10 rebounds. He almost did last year. James Harden averaged 30 points and had 10 assists.
Giannis
Averaging
is an
30s.
absolute statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
And there's no one who's going to come close to him this year in statistics with points and rebounds. He will easily average 30 and 10. He might average 30 and 12 and a half, 13-ish.
13
Yeah,
maybe.
like I wouldn't be surprised if he's 30, 12, and like 8. He's going to average a triple-double as being a power forward. Almost.
He's making $24 million a year. What the heck?
Yeah, he just signed to stay in
Wow.
Milwaukee for some reason. So, we're going with that. Let's go with Defensive Player of the Year.
Um,
I'm going to Gobert. I think easily he's the best. Not the best, but like his presence on Jazz was so noticeably different last year when he was hurt, especially in the playoffs, that his interior defense just makes it so that every team has to try to shoot on him.
here's my thing. I think Kevin Durant's a really good defender. Okay.
This is where-
great defender.
Here, keep on talking about the Warriors.
Didn't he
bias.
almost have like 3 blocks, like average 3 blocks last year?
He doesn't even guard the offensive player on the other team.
But I still think he's probably one of our best defenders on the Warriors.
I think Clay's a better defender than Kevin Durant. Sweeney?
What do you think, Sweeney?
Yes.
Kevin Durant's a really good defender.
For his position, Clay's a better defender.
Thank you.
Clay's always
you are
been
so biased. on
Kevin
this
Durant's a
Warriors
great
thing.
defender.
When did you become a Warriors fan?
A while ago, I
What,
was watching
2014?
No, when Steph got drafted by the Warriors.
Do you know what college Steph went to?
Davidson, easy. He averaged 30 at Davidson.
He didn't average 30. He did.
Yes,
He did during a tournament.
I'm pretty sure he averaged almost 30 in the regular season.
I don't think he was over 25. Look it up real quick.
All right.
Look it up.
How much do you want to bet? Over 25 points at Davidson. Let's go.
Look it up.
Okay, you need to talk until I get that
No,
up.
I want this dead silent. People wondering if you're right when they're not. You want me to look it up faster than you, man? You're like sweating typing this because you're scared you're wrong.
I'm not scared.
No, he's just sweating because he sweats.
I
does sweat a lot.
Hyperhidrosis.
he has hypothermia.
What am I looking up? Steph Curry Davidson stats.
Let me.
I got it. Wikipedia.
No, yeah,
Davidson.
Wikipedia. I could have gone in there and changed it.
Okay. You're right for his career there, but his 08-09 season, he averaged 28.6.
So I was right. 1 year at 28.6.
28.6. 08-09.
So 1 year
Davidson.
he did. But his
He led the nation in scoring that year with 28.6.
So I was
Almost
technically
30.
right.
Technically, but technically I was right too.
Yeah.
28's closer to 30 than 25.
How about we just chalk this one up to both people are right?
Absolutely not. I'm taking
No.
this one.
You're
Ah!
you're wrong. Anyways, back to the talk. So Sweeney, defensive player of the year for you.
Kawhi Leonard.
I'm not gonna argue that he's already won it before. Fan favorite of mine. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I really like him. Yeah, so let's go. So we're gonna go away from basketball because I don't want to hear about the Warriors anymore. Brock. So we're gonna go away from basketball, and we're going to. So I'm a big fan of the Sims and Lefko show. Love hearing them talk. Love their little skits they do with Bleacher Report and all their stuff. And I had an interesting conversation with T.O. and Chad Ochocinco or Chad Johnson, if you
whatever.
want to be proper.
Sure.
And they were just sitting there arguing about who's a better receiver between them, which I believe is Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is one of probably top. We'll get into that talk, but like, it brought up something I want to talk to you guys about is who do you guys personally think? Because there's a lot of talk about who's the greatest quarterback of all time, accomplishments and all the stuff for Tom Brady, this and that, hierarchies, the leads everything. I want to know your guys' opinion on greatest we're going to top three of each position of quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, and we're going to go one defensive player.
Okay.
I want you guys' top three on each one. So I'll start it off.
Okay.
We're going skill. Everything's in we're going accomplishments, skills, everything. I think based off that skill, all, I think I personally believe the greatest quarterback of all time is still playing.
Drew Brees.
Aaron Rodgers
Okay.
is number one for me. I'm going
Number
2
one?
Brady, and number 3 I'm gonna go Joe Montana. For 3 for my greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Okay.
Let's get everybody's opinion. I want your opinion, Mr. Brock. I want yours, Sweeney, and then we'll talk about it after. But I want to hear it first.
For me, if you go by like
We're going
wins and
skills,
Super Bowl,
accomplishments, Super Bowls.
I don't know. I think Brady's one for me.
Okay.
Honestly, I do. And then I think it's Peyton Manning, right behind Brady, and then I'm putting Drew Brees at 3.
Okay. Sweeney?
I have Breeze at number 1.
Okay, that's fair. That's very
2 and
fair.
3?
2, I have Brady, and 3, I have Rodgers. They're all current era players, but that's how it is nowadays. They pass.
Yeah.
So do
compared to
you
how they
think the
used
reason
to.
why Brees' stats are so high is because he's always been an offense where he only passes?
Well, I mean,
When you look at his stats, the average yards per pass that he gets is just ridiculous. He has
Yeah.
to throw the ball downfield all the time.
And
It's
he's
not like
got-
he just chucks the ball like
Like Brady
little
does
dump off
those
passes
Brady's
every
drop
time,
off
too.
passes and
Exactly.
just the
Breeze
ends
is
team
so
up.
accurate too.
That's why I feel that Breeze is superior. Is he has that downfield
He might be
accuracy
the
and
greatest
power.
accurate quarterback. I had him 4th on my list.
That's too low.
But is it though?
I don't know. It's your opinion.
Skill. Okay, so I'm just wondering because let's go skills first. What is Tom Brady and Drew Brees better at as a quarterback than Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, obviously Rodgers has a better arm. He's a better thrower of the football. His arm.
Honestly,
talent,
for me, the 2-3 that I said, Brady and Rodgers, I can't really decide on those
But
two.
let's go with Drew Brees. Let's compare Drew Brees and Rodgers then real quick.
Drew Brees has nowhere near the arm strength or arm talent that Aaron Rodgers has. He never has.
Okay.
Never
And
has.
and Aaron Rodgers moves better. And Rodgers has led teams to the playoff that are far less than Drew Brees'. Drew Brees has had. I saw an interesting stat where
The Saints have.
he's played 16 years in the NFL or something like that. He's only had 7 winning seasons.
Who?
Drew Brees. He is 7 of 16.
He also played with the San Diego Chargers to start his career, who were just
You could say.
but awful.
doo-doo.
Just pooper cheeks to the max.
And then he gets traded to the Saints, and that franchise before he got there was just
Oh, yeah,
just
that is
awful.
He saved the franchise.
Just terrible.
That's understandable. I understand that. But still, if your quarterback is that good, 7 of 16 winning season, that's the one thing holding back with them. He wins when his team is good, but he can't win when it's not. The Packers are winning games right now with only because of Rodgers. Rodgers has to play a perfect game for them to win, which he does. Skill-wise, I don't think there's a quarterback I've ever seen. Me personally, I'm only 20 years old. I haven't seen him back in the day. But that throws like him, can move while throwing like him. He still has pinpoint accuracy. He's not as accurate as Drew Brees, but he's probably the closest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see how. Like, you don't even have Rodgers in your top 3?
No. I have. Who did I say? I said Brady, Manning, Breeze.
Yeah,
Brady, I mean, he's had what?
Manning
How many
is the-
Super Bowls has Brady? Like
exactly.
4 or 5?
Brady's in the top 3 no matter what accomplishments alone. Like, that's not
Yeah.
arguably, but
I just
I
think
just don't
Manning as a game manager and how smart he
True.
was. He also didn't have the best arm. You know, he
Yeah.
wasn't like a gunslinger.
no,
But,
he relied on his IQ and the feel for the game. His
Right,
awareness
he-
is second to none.
Yeah, I mean, how he would change plays at the line of scrimmage.
Omaha,
almost
Omaha.
literally, yeah, Omaha, like all the
Omaha.
time. But I mean, I don't think you're gonna see another guy like a Manning, like a Brady, for a while. I mean, Breeze is different than both of them.
You want to know why you're not going to see him like that? Because the quarterbacks are getting better.
Well, the quarterbacks
I think
are
the
way more
quarterbacks are-
protected now.
Like the
You
skill.
can,
No,
okay,
but I'm talking about
hold on,
skill wise.
hold on.
Like you're going to see more people with
Whoa.
arm talent than IQ.
Whoa.
You can have
I
IQ,
agree,
but you're
but
not going to
it's-
get drafted or play in the NFL like that.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I think
it's a
that's-
different game.
I don't know. I don't like that because then Brady was a 6th-round pick. He obviously didn't
Well,
have
yeah,
the
obviously,
physical
Peyton Manning was
attributes.
also number 1 overall.
Right, but he was. I hear what you're
Like,
saying.
if you're saying-
I
okay.
understand you're going to draft the guy who's got the better arm in college, but I think the guy. I mean, it's like the guy who wins in college also has, good attributes, but he's not going to get the love with the guy who can throw the ball 65 yards, with the guy who is accurate down the field. I mean, yeah, the attributes and everything, arm, whatever, that's good, but you also need to have a game manager and a leader at the
I have a
quarterback
question
position.
for you guys, real quick. It's just something that intrigued me. It could be easily made. Knowing how Breeze's career has been with this one Super Bowl winning season, but all these like individual career accolades. If you got to choose right now, are you taking Drew Brees, knowing what his career is, or are you taking Patrick Mahomes, knowing what he could be?
I'm taking Drew Brees. No offense.
That's an interesting question.
No
That's
offense
tough.
to Mahomes, but it's
That's tough because Mahomes has his caliber arm and everything could be better than Rodgers. Of course, yes, you would like to take Breeze because it's you know what you're getting. You know you're getting these stats, but at the same time you're getting one Super Bowl in 16 years, 7 winning seasons.
I just think the
Who-
dominance from Breeze.
I feel like there's less certainty when you look at
No,
Mahomes.
absolutely.
So-
Absolutely, because you've seen a small window, but that's what makes the question so
But-
intriguing because you've seen in that small window
Yes.
then-
how good that guy can be.
Then again, now the NFL protects the quarterback so much. 300 yards isn't like great anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like 400 yards is now like what 300 used to be.
Yeah.
Like you should not throw for less than 300 yards in a game.
But people still
you have a
don't.
good- But it's like 300 yards is nothing anymore. These quarterbacks literally get protected so much where they're delivering the ball, throwing the ball 50 times a game, and it should be for more than 300 yards. 300 yards isn't special to me anymore. It's not.
You're right, but there's only one quarterback in the NFL that's thrown 300 yards every game this year.
Mahomes, but yeah, I understand that's great, but it's like, okay, 300 yards. You should have 300.
But if it's that
passing yards.
easy, then how come not every quarterback's doing it? Why is there only one quarterback?
'Cause
The,
there's-
the way that I look at it is Mahomes is surrounded by talent on
he
that
has
offense.
the best offense.
Yeah.
He's
in the
got
league.
Tyreek Hill who can run down the field 60 yards, and Mahomes will throw it over his head. He'll run and catch it.
I mean,
Because
also,
he's gonna beat every
Travis
corner in the
Kelce.
also
game,
some of
every
his,
safety
some
in
of
the
his
game.
passes are literally 1 yard where he has Tyreek Hill come in motion and he just shoves the ball like that.
Yeah, I mean
And it
that's
goes for 60 yards.
that's
and
how the
a pass.
NFL is getting these days. I mean,
it is
every
such a passing
every team
league
runs
now,
that
it's
play
crazy.
with the quarterback taking the snap from the shotgun and the jet sweep coming in front of him, and he just goes whoop, tosses it forward, and it's a touchdown.
No, you're right.
It's
And I'm not saying like it's a bad thing or anything.
not a
just,
bad thing, but
It's changing the way the league is, and I think Mahomes' stats are a little inflated.
Yes.
I don't think that he's a bad quarterback
No,
by any
he's-
means.
he's
He's got
Yeah.
great talent.
Based off that question, and who you taking?
I think I'd probably still take Breeze.
me too.
Because we
Knowing
don't know
what he's
what
gonna get.
we don't know what Mahomes would be in an offense without those weapons.
So, question: you think
that's smart.
within 16-year span, do you think Mahomes will have at least one Super Bowl?
I think if he has the team talent that he currently has,
And he has
plus a
Andy
little bit
Reid.
more of a defense, yeah, he will.
I
Do you think
so,
Drew
too.
Brees?
If
Win-
Breeze, let me put it this way:
I don't
if
think-
Breeze was the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback,
I don't think there's
I
that much.
think
of
They
a
win
might,
the
be,
Super Bowl.
they might go undefeated.
No, I don't think there's that much of a difference. I don't think Breeze is the kind of quarterback should be in a system that the Chiefs have. I don't think Breeze. Yes, he's accurate and stuff, but he's not the mobile. Let's run this kind of certain play. Let's throw the ball this far. He's like there's quarterbacks set for certain systems. There's a reason why Goff's been doing so well now. He's a good quarterback, but McAvey makes him
I was
that
just
step
about
better.
to say that the quarterback head coach relationship
Is huge.
is huge.
Sean Payton.
Look at the
Drew
court,
Brees.
like you just said, Mahomes and Reed, perfect combination.
Perfect combination.
McVay
Sean
and
McAvey,
Goff,
Jared Goff,
perfect
insane.
combination.
Belichick
Sean
and Brady have been
Sean
Sean-
Payton
yes.
and Breeze have been arguably the best head coach quarterback combo. I mean, the last 10 years. Their relationship's that
Who,
well.
Breeze?
Breeze and
You
Sean
forgot
Payton.
that Brady and Belichick are
Brady and Belichick also, but I
Okay.
mean,
like even
that-
you're seeing it with
there's a
Wentz and
point-
Peters. Like
there's a point
your
there.
head coach, offensive coordinator makes a huge difference.
yeah.
And so like it's just certain schemes as well. Like you can't say I'll put Breeze on the Chiefs and they're going to go undefeated because I don't think that's accurate.
I don't
because
think
I don't
that's
think
accurate either.
I think that I don't think Mahomes can go on the Saints and Sean Payton's system. Would they change the offense around? Yeah. But at the same time, like right now, whose weapons are better? Probably the Chiefs, but Drew Brees doesn't do well in the
But
system.
Drew Brees also has really good weapons around. Michael Thomas, they have.
No, he
Kamara,
does, but their
Ingram.
offense is set up. Their Chiefs are run. We are going to be faster than you, and we're
Yes.
going to throw it to a bulldozer, Kelsey.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are. We're going Kamara in the flat. We're going
mean the
short
Saints?
routes and stuff, or Saints. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going short routes because I know Breeze will get the ball through any window.
And then the play action game opens up with Michael Thomas down
Yeah.
the field. Yeah.
So I just
I like that.
okay. Well, yeah, let's go. So that pretty much whole spiel just had to go with Drew Brees in our top three quarterbacks.
Yes.
Let's go with running backs. I'll go.
Best ever? Or is
Yeah,
that
let's not go
all?
top three running back.
Let's
Let's
just do your-
let's go
just
best
give me
ever
your
because
best
there's
one.
like 5 or 6 that could easily argue me for the top spot.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with Barry Sanders. I think he was physically the most gifted, talented running back of all time, and he would easily have the stats to show that he's the greatest of all time if he played more than 10 years with the Lions. But you're playing with the Lions, I can't hate you for retiring. I think it's Sanders with maybe Peyton, Walter Payton, and close, and I think maybe in the top 3 or top 4 arguably is Adrian Peterson too, because Adrian Peterson in his prime was insane. But that's mine. That's who I'm going with, greatest of all time.
They had Bo Jackson at 4.
In your
Wow.
little list.
And on this thing.
Yeah, I've got Barry Sanders too, and to bring Bo Jackson, he didn't even play enough years for it to be
Yeah.
him considered to be the best. I mean, I think if he played the years in the league that he could have played, he would probably be the best running back.
That's what my dad said too. It's like if he could have just played football and played for a long time, probably was going to be the best ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he easily could. I think
I give love to LT.
you're so biased on your San Diego and Warriors.
What do you mean? LT is one of the best running backs ever.
I think he's argued top 10, but I don't think he's considered greatest. I think one person I forgot. I don't even know how I meant. I think there's 4. You're taking LT over Adrian Peterson in primes.
Close.
What about Emmitt Smith? Where do you put him?
I have like 6 because we're forgetting Jim Brown as well.
It's tough.
My 3. I'm taking APM. I forgot all about Jim Brown. I'm going Barry
AP
Sanders, Walter Payton, and Jim Brown. Those 3, and if you argue with me which one's the greatest of those 3, I wouldn't argue with you. That's my personal belief on that. You're going LT. LT's maybe 8th or 9th with me. I'm taking Emmitt Smith and Adrian Peterson over LT. So maybe 6.
And Adrian Peterson over?
Yeah. Adrian Peterson in his prime was absolutely insane.
Yeah. LT has the touchdown record, right?
He does. That might get broken by Todd Gurley because Todd Gurley
could get broken this year.
Todd Gurley and Emmitt Smith could be, or not Emmitt Smith, Ezekiel Elliott could be up there one day because Ezekiel Elliott's super talented as well.
And he's got a great offensive line.
Walter
Payton had a better offensive line, best ever.
Yeah.
His offensive line was not good.
Let's go with our receivers real quick. It looked like there wasn't much discrepancy with the running back talk. Receivers. I'm going with Randy Moss. Greatest of all time. I know Jerry Rice has all this numbers, route stuff. Jerry Rice is the safest pick, but I think Randy Moss. I don't know. It's so tough because they're just such different players.
Yeah.
I almost said Ray Rice. Wow, that's a huge difference in people, man.
Yes. One good guy.
Bad guy, good guy, too.
Yeah.
Wow. That could have been a mistake. Jerry Rice and how he ran routes and how he handled that was second to none. Because he wasn't the most physically gifted, wasn't the tallest. He worked his ass off.
Yeah. He had good hands, too.
Well, and Randy Moss just said, look, you're little. Randy Moss probably the most physically gifted NFL player we've seen. Yeah. There's a reason why we call it, when we're playing football in the street, you got mossed on for a reason.
Yes.
And so I think it's really 1A, 1B with Moss and Jerry Rice, and those can be flipped. I don't think there's really any other receiver that could be.
I mean, when I know I'm going to say his name, he's not up there, but Calvin Johnson, if he would have stayed healthy.
Same. Calvin Johnson
Calvin Johnson was different. Before Josh Gordon came and all that, he was.
You shouldn't be that fast
and that strong.
Being that tall and that strong.
And then Julio came, but Julio's.
Well, but still you have receivers. We're in the golden age of
receivers right now. You got Julio. Odell's the highest paid, but I don't think he's.
Keep on mentioning him because I'm mentioning receivers.
Adam Thielen.
There we go. There he is. He's probably the best receiver right now in football. This year.
That guy is so
humble. Him and DeAndre Hopkins too.
He is so humble.
Hopkins is
ridiculous.
Impressive.
Hopkins might have the best hands right now.
He might have better hands than Odell.
Yep.
Honestly, yeah.
But Odell, we're in a golden age receivers. But what do you think, Sweeney, for greatest receiver all time?
I have to go with Jerry Rice too.
I'm gonna do the same.
I'm not gonna argue with that
because right now there's not a ton of depth. Like you got about 4 guys who are.
Who else there? Torrey Holt,
Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens was super good as well, but Isaac Bruce not bad. I'm probably forgetting some, but it's I
haven't seen him.
Marvin Harrison,
yeah,
really good.
But those guys aren't Randy Moss.
You don't recognize them as the best.
There's a big drop off. They're not running back quarterback where you can argue 5 in each one.
Yeah.
And so let's go with defensive player.
One defensive player, like a dominant defensive force.
We're going one guy. All defense. I'm going with Lawrence Taylor.
I was thinking the same thing, honestly. That name just popped in my head, Lawrence Taylor. But
are you burping while talking?
I did burp. Sorry.
Wow.
Go ahead, Swain. I'm gonna try to think of someone different.
I love my Charles Woodson.
That's biased.
That guy's good.
That's biased.
He's really good.
We're gonna end on. That's bias right there. I think the greatest football player of all time altogether is LeBron James. But all right, well, thank you for joining us this week in Week 4.
That's unbelievable.
I'm Bug.
You're unbelievable.
Brock. Yep. We had Swing Dog 6'9" back there.
What an
Thanks for
ending
joining
to
us.
the
Wow.
podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.